Alright, what up everyone? I'm back with another video. This time we're going to be talking about DataForex.webs.com. Okay, now I am into forex markets and stock market trends and things like that, and I do use IQ Option as my preferred brokerage. I'll go ahead and link that below. Now they do offer demo accounts which, you know, provide $1,000, alright, that you can use, and if you lose the money you can just refresh $1,000, and so just going off of $1,000, right, that I had yesterday. I traded yesterday and I made $150. Okay. So I'll go ahead and actually link dataforex.webs.com in the description here, so you can understand more about what I'm talking about. And also thathill.webs.com. I'll go ahead and link that there, and you can find out more about the brokerage. I'll be posting ebooks, seminars, all sorts of cool stuff all the time, so please be sure to follow our Twitter at Data Media. Alright, so continuing along, we do here at Data Forex like to keep, you know, any sort of margin within our favor. So what I like to do here is just take anything over 70%, right? And those are the currency pairs that we'll be working with, okay? And I do use dollar trades, okay? And I spread them out over several currency pairs. Okay, so you have a set of trades here where, you know, we are trying to minimize risk completely and mitigate risk. We're trying to control risk wherever possible. And this is just, you know, one of the ways in which we do that. Okay, now we do offer, you know, brokerage plans for clients on Data Forex. So, you know, you can go ahead and contact us and we can talk about managing a portfolio for you. And, other than that, if you like, you can always just watch this video, subscribe, like, share. We'll keep them coming. Okay, so here I did lose 3 trades, right? Go ahead and close our markers. I do have $2 now, then lost markers, $3. Okay, so we got 2 wins and a loss of $3. So go ahead and actually make up for that here and continue along with these here. Okay. So we definitely want to keep our eye on this trade here. It is a $9 trade compared to our dollar trades. And this here was to recoup losses that we did accumulate. Alright, so there were 3 from the last set that we did. And here it looks like we have something similar going on. 3 out of 5 trades are in the red. Now this does fluctuate, you know, depending on a lot of factors. It does depend on what the market is doing that day. It does depend on how you're feeling that day. You must keep your mind aware, sharp, and analyzing at all times, or else you will typically run into problems. There are several emotions you definitely do not want to feel when you are trading. And other than that, it's pretty simple. You just want to keep the odds in your favor wherever possible, and minimize all risks whenever they present themselves, of course. Alright, there we go. So now we actually made a profit of $15.30 here off of a $9 trade. Okay, now it says profit here, but really we made $6.30, okay, because it was $9 in investment capital plus whatever we were making on that, which is the United States dollar compared to the Japanese yen, which is currently paying, I apologize, it is currently paying out 70%. Okay, so $6 there off of $9. Okay, so I do recommend signing up and subscribing, as we will be showing more tips, tricks, and insider information regarding IQ option, trading in general, and strategies and indicators and things like that that can really help you out. We'll go ahead and present other software even that you can always use as a backup or as a sort of chart laid out with specific software, in this case indicators, that can help you predict what the market is doing. Now most of the time I do just actually like to read all of the charts, just freestyle, I guess. Sometimes those charts can do bad. I don't think that is all that necessary, and I do seem to have favorable results like that. Okay, now here we have another closed option. Did make us some money there, so we're gonna go ahead and keep that going. Now, while that's going on, let's go ahead and actually check out some of the regulation going on here with this brokerage. Now, binary options trading is fairly common, and there are a few key things you should look at. Regulations is definitely one of them. When a brokerage is regulated, okay, you do see a lot, I would say, control and just security, knowing that your funds are insured by a bank and you won't ever have to worry about your funds just simply disappearing. And at the same time, it allows you to have someone that you can contact, correct? If you do fall under Seychelles regulation, then it would be with a SISEG, correct? In which you would actually be processing any sort of claims that were necessary, and the rest of the world falling under Russian regulation would go with the Russian regulation authority. So let's go ahead and check out what our trades are doing now, and it doesn't look like we're doing too good here. Looks like actually all of these were in the red, right? Okay, so now we're gonna have to go ahead and recoup that loss. Okay, so there's $15 on the euro competing against the United States dollar. It looks like that is not going to be good. Go ahead and keep this going. And again, there are various strategies, indications, things like that. As you can see here, these two currency pairs are doing almost the exact same thing. Okay, now they both include the Japanese yen, and as you can tell, they are almost identical when it comes to their charts. So it definitely looks like I will be losing one of these trades. The way that this chart is going, there is no way that I cannot. There may be a small chance that I can either lose both or win both, but it looks like in this case I will be definitely losing one. Seems to be the trend with these trades that we have here. Looks like the big trade that we made also lost $15. It's paying out 0 there. So we have to keep that in mind. We do have $15 loss there for a total of $17. Okay, so for newcomers and beginners, I do definitely recommend checking out DataForex.webs.com, where you can receive more assistance regarding this sort of trading, and where somebody can manage a portfolio for you. Now for the $17 loss, we will go ahead and recoup that loss, or at least try to here. Okay. So $17 loss, we can go ahead and place even more here. There's the $17. Go ahead and minimize the risk here that we'll be taking, and place an additional, let's say 25 here. Okay, so definitely want to keep those in the money. I'm placing dollar trades on all of these, and this one looks like it's going down. So we are currently 3 out of 5 are in the green. Oh, looks like just one now. Okay, definitely 3 now, 2 definitely in the red. So that is unfortunate. Looks like one of our big trades is doing well and one is doing bad. See here, looks like I may have closed the window here. Looks like it was the euro compared to the Japanese yen. For some reason I had closed out of there. Go ahead and take a look at our history here. Now again, this is a very easy to use platform. I do thoroughly enjoy it myself. It is very up to date and it is concise. It is quick. It also lets you check out your history. As you can see here, I did take a $25 loss there. This $17 trade did actually make me money, so we have a total of $26 that we must recoup here. This is currently also not making me money. We'll go ahead and wait for these trades to close out before we proceed. So again, $0 here is a $1 loss. And this one actually made us money. So still $26 loss that we're looking at. In total, looks like this is definitely in the money. Again, here at dataforex.webs.com, we do take a variety of investment sizes, okay? We definitely don't want that getting to you. We can go ahead and work with a variety of portfolios. Do not worry about that. We do mitigate risk across several currency pairs, but not only that, there are also other sites used in conjunction, and there are also the option to trade things like the Bitcoin index. Several companies are also available: Amazon, Facebook, Apple, as you can see here. Really just major names in the industry. Now you may see changes on those. Those do vary, and there's also a binary option where you do have more time to trade, or I'm sorry, more options to trade. Okay, so now let's go ahead and keep this going with $26 loss that we will be recouping. Now this is very important here, or at least for me, to always keep your risk, your trade size at $1, okay? Because sometimes you may move it up. You can always change it, of course, right? So you can always change it, and if you like, you can set whatever amount you like. So let's do $2 trades. Now, sometimes you'll forget that you make that change, and you'll just be over here. You see a nice trend. Look at this trend. That's a nice one right there. And we'll go ahead and continue that going downwards. And in this case, we'll go ahead and see if that will actually come back down on us. These are all $1 trades, but let's say you had to recoup losses and you actually were setting $50 trades, or at least just one, right? And you forget that you do that, and maybe you're just doing something like trying to see if it would go that way, and there's a huge difference, you know, in what you were expecting. So you now have $50 trade rather than $2 trade. So what I like to do here is make sure that I always change those back to $1, using multiple clicks in case I do need to make a bigger trade. As you can see here, position close, and there was definitely profit there off of $33 investment. Now that's helping us recoup our losses. Alright, let's go ahead and keep that going, because as you can see, we're still at where we started. However, with some of the momentum that we have going, we should be able to easily make that money up on this trade here. Okay, we have two $1 losses. Go ahead and wait for the rest of the trades to close out before continuing. Looks like just $2. Might be another one there. $3, $4. This is not in the money here. The larger trade we placed. Let's go ahead and double check our numbers. And wait for this set to close out. We're looking at a $2 loss, and possibly even more here, for a total of $29 in the hole. So again, just to recap, you always want to make sure your regulations are up to date so that you are protected in that manner. That is very important. Now here we're actually betting on a reversal, right? And we are putting up quite a bit of capital, $68, and that is a total of just about $90 total deficit, correct? Now thankfully we are in the green here. And we'll go ahead and wait for that to close out. Meanwhile, continuing our dollar trades. Very important to minimize risk. However possible, I do like to keep my trades down to $1, or at least all initial trades. Okay, looks like we're doing good there. And it looks like our investment did pay out. You can go ahead and show that here. I did go ahead and put it in the green here. It ended up here, and look, if you can actually see here, right after that it did dip. Okay, so this is why we always have to put a disclaimer on our sites. You know, you can lose all of this money in a very short time period, okay? Again, the markets are very volatile when it comes down to such short increments of time, okay? Sometimes you don't know exactly what it's doing. And that is why there is another binary options, and we'll go ahead and finish explaining that. Right here, I am doing turbo trades. There is a binary option available, and as you can see here, they are available at specific times, and they also include specific time intervals in which you can place the order to when it expires. As you can see here, quite a bit longer. You have a minute here left until you can buy. And it does expire. Let's take a look here. 5 minutes later in this case, and you can always change time frames. So let's go 9:45. It is currently 8:09. So that gives you around an hour and 30 minutes. Okay, and for these I do like taking a look at the bigger charts. As you can tell in the turbo, we were looking at the 15-minute chart. This one automatically has a 3-hour chart open. We have the 30-day chart. All of these are very important factors to take into account. Now as you can see here, there is an overall uptrend going on, right? Now if you didn't know that, you might make a different decision here, right? And even if you go smaller, I mean, there's only really one decision to make when you have this data set here, correct? So it is important to stay on top of things here at dataforex.webs.com. We do actually take all of these factors into account when we make our trades. So we are a lot safer than a lot of strategies used, and we are also dealing with microtransactions to minimize risk wherever possible. Right, so it looks like we did have a better say now. Let's see here. I'm only registering one loss, and that is of $1. Oh, looks like the historical quotes got opened up. Here you can take a look at, you know, where prices were at specific times. It's really cool. It's a cool little homework area, if you like, where you can, you know, study exactly what different currency pairs we're doing at whatever point in time. Right, so this can be important if you are trying to come up with a sort of indicator or signal for what is going on. Now, signals are also available. You just have to be very careful. Not all of them are the same. However, there are several that are good. Now, I can go ahead and talk about those in later videos, and you can always check out thathill.webs.com for more information. Again, thathill.webs.com if you do want to take a look at the brokerage. Otherwise, I do recommend dataforex.webs.com. I'll go ahead and link those in the description. And you know, if you really are interested in making money on the stock market, then we are definitely your source. I'll go ahead and say that now. And I do hope that you continue watching our videos. Please like and subscribe, share. And as always, thank you for watching.